Hey guys, so today for my face-to-face series I have a lady that needs no introduction really. Here with Charlotte Tilbury. And I just wanted to really have a chat with Charlotte and pick her brains a bit about some of her favourite makeup, all-time favourite makeup.
Yes.
Some of your amazing creations.
Thank you.
And your brand and kind of how you've built it and everything as well.
Well, yes. How did it all start? All started at the age of 13 is where it all started.
Seriously?
Yeah, it did. When I was at boarding school and sort of being a redhead and kind of thinking, I wish I could have because I was obsessed with beauty. I was always looking at kind of through magazines or vintage pictures of Marilyn Monroe or Marlene Dietrich, or just studying how did the shape of their eyes, their eyelashes, their cheekbones, the way the light hit them, the size of the lips, the contours and the facial architecture, and then I was like, well, how come, and then I'm fascinated by the power of beauty, because when a woman on entering a room, how she can kind of really galvanize and mesmerize people, and beauty is power, it is very powerful. And so being a little kind of redhead with blonde eyelashes and kind of looking a little bit like sort of Boris Becker, I was sort of like, okay, wait, I want that. And at the age of 13 at boarding school, I was kind of thinking, I wish a makeup artist would come along and tell me, what were the perfect colours, how to shape my eyes, how to contour, because I knew my father's an artist, that you could change a face with makeup. And really, and so I kind of had this idea of like, I wish I could have like the perfect colours for a redhead, for all these different kind of looking at people's different facial structures and eye colours and hair colour and skin colour, and kind of dreaming up this brand. And the looks really are kind of at that sort of it was the beginning of the kernel of the seed at sort of the age of 13. And then obviously I kind of went on to have this kind of massive career, which is quite exhausting, kind of traveling around the world, sort of doing all the kind of all the Vogue covers and the Louis Vuitton campaigns and the Gucci campaigns and the pretty much every fashion and beauty campaign, that I worked on, and Vanity Fair and red carpets and runway shows and London, Paris, New York, Milan, and working on 38 shows a season. I mean, I don't know how I didn't end up in fashion rehab after that. I was like so exhausted. But it kind of, and it really through that, it kind of sort of my obsession with beauty and realizing that kind of if you look at the kind of the different eras, whether it's the kind of 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, whatever it is, or when you think about certain kind of beauty icons, whether it's kind of, Sophia Loren, the Dolce Vita look, and whether it's kind of, Penelope Cruz or Kim Kardashian today, it's always a certain type of woman or a certain type of makeup. And whether you think about Kate Moss as the rock chick or Cara Delevingne as the rock chick or whoever, it's sort of, or you think of Anita Pallenberg, bless her, who just died, or a friend of mine, but anyone, those rock chicks, that's kind of like a look that hasn't really, or even, you could even say, Bridget Bardot, you know what I mean? It kind of, it's a certain look that you realise doesn't really change. And so as a makeup artist, you realise working in fashion for sort of now 26 years, maybe a bit more, but maybe we won't mention that.
26. 26.
And then kind of working with all these designers and realising that fashion is very cyclical. Yeah. And even though the kind of makeup, you might innovate with different textures and different formulas and different colours, you sort of really kind of end up kind of going, oh, it's a golden goddess, it's a Jennifer Aniston, Giselle, kind of Gigi Hadid sort of type makeup, and you realise, oh, the golden goddess, and you realise that there's kind of these makeup and fashion archetypes that kind of exist, and that's kind of really where it began through my career, through working on all the runways and the magazines, and then realising that people were kind of were writing to me and saying to me, and thank God for social media, but people were saying to me, I really want that look that you created on Kate Moss. It would be like a beige lip colour that I was mixing together for her, that we came up with called Nude Kate, and that was really because a colour that I'd mixed for her, and I couldn't find as a makeup artist. As a makeup artist, we're always sitting there mixing like alchemists and working with the labs and I've been very fortunate to work with the laboratories, because I've been working on lots of the biggest luxury makeup brands in the world as a creative consultant, And so I worked with all the labs for about 16 years, and I kept a secret atelier that no one knew about.
Did you?
Yeah, exactly at the top of Ladbroke Grove, and I kept it a secret, and it was like this, and it was my makeup archives, and all kind of, you know, working with the labs and Blue Sky formulas, and all kind of vintage makeup that I collected from Bieber, and all my reference books and films and everything. It was just this kind of, but it was like my secret back cave.
Was that the grand plan?
That was not, it was, yeah. It was always
you
the
wanted
grand plan.
Your own
it was
thing.
always the grand plan. So, you know, even I wanted to go and work for other houses, but it was always literally, I was like, I will always have my own brand. That was definitely the grand plan, which is why I kind of kept this atelier secret. But it was fantastic when I was working for other brands and creating kind of amazing lipstick lines, and I had a really good.
It's a perfect way to learn.
Exactly, it's a perfect way to learn on it was somebody else's time and dime.
Yeah.
but then I had this amazing success with other brands. So I'd create a lipstick line and it would kind of sell out, and so by the time I launched my own line, I think there was a real confidence in the marketplace that the products that I had created for other people had an amazing track record. Thank God. And so then, and also this kind of demand from people to say to me, you know what, I was creating a lot of the trends, and you kind of, you know, you and the feline flick and all these kind of different things, which now just seems sort of, you know, normal kind of parlance. But it was, and so you're creating all these things for the runways, and you're creating these makeup, products for other brands, and then you're kind of realizing, well, hold on a minute, you know, there's a demand from people, and and then with social media, it was like, please, can you, you know, I really want that color that you did on, you know, whatever, Kate Moss, for instance, and I was like, I can't give it to you, and then that's kind of how I then started to kind of create a lot of those colours with the labs.
It's interesting you mentioned social media a couple of times, and that because it's obviously been a huge part of
growing
your brand.
Part of growing my brand.
And
we love social media.
Were you on YouTube before the brand launch? I can't remember which was first.
So was I on YouTube? Yes, I was.
Yeah.
For a year beforehand. Yeah.
And how important has it been to you in terms of growing it? And
oh my God,
how do you think you've best used it? Because you've obviously it's been such a massive part of that, and I think you're one of the brands that uses social media so well.
Thank you.
What would be your thoughts on that?
Well, it's interesting because really, when you come from a very kind of VIP, which I did, very kind of VIP world, the sort of, you know, the backstage and the runway and all that, it's quite a secret world, you know, and actually social media was kind of like, you know, initially was very like, no, not, you know, you're not allowed in, you're not kind of part of this. And were you allowed to Instagram, were you allowed to whatever, and it was all, everything, my makeup secrets were secret, everything was secret world. It was very kind of, you know, and then I remember just thinking, you know, if I'm going to create a brand, I'm going to give away all these secrets to the world. I'm going to give them to everybody, and it's no longer going to be my little kind of my secret magic cream and my secret kind of, you know, my secret mixes and my secret colours and my secret thing, you know, because it was a lot of that, and that backstage, as you know, kind of, well, I don't know if you do know, but like a lot of it was like, get her secret magic cream, and that's how that kind of came about. But anyway, coming from this very VIP kind of secret world, then suddenly realising, actually I'm going to launch a brand, I'm going to give all my secrets away. I want to kind of, I want to talk to an audience, I want to talk to the world. And I you know, what was so fantastic about having social media and things like YouTube were that you didn't have to go through a vehicle of saying to a TV station, please can you give me a slot? Or, you know, even though I still adore magazines, obviously I'm a girl that, you know, comes from the world of print, but, you know, or having to have a meeting with an editor to do an interview that you could just speak directly to your audience. Straight away you could just go, okay, I'm in a creative video and I'm going to show you how to do the feline flick, I'm going to show you how to kind of contour, I'm going to show you I'm going to give away all my secrets, tips and tricks, and I'm going to speak to you in kind of, you know, almost real time. And then you can have this, and then they can say to you, you know what, I'd really love you to create this, or I'd really love you to do that, and you have this direct communication that really revolutionises everything. And because it's so in real time. I mean, if you think about print, it would be like you would do an interview and then 3 months later it comes out. And now it's like 3 minutes later. You know, which is really amazing. And for me, having launched a brand during that time, and you know, having been able to direct access the audience, then obviously it's just immediately, I have, as you know, because you were there with me right at the beginning, Thank you. Being so loyal and supportive. But right at the beginning, when I launched my brand at Selfridges, it was because of YouTube that I had hundreds of people outside waiting for the product when I launched. And if I think now about the hundreds of Vogue covers I've done and the hundreds of like anti-aging campaigns and everything, really when I walk down the street or if someone ever kind of says to me, you know, I'm a big fan of your brand, a lot of the times because they know me from YouTube and Instagram, and it's not because they know the history of the 26 years of me kind of getting my fashion stripes and slogging it.
So talking about products, and kind of I want to ask you about a few of your favourites. So obviously you've got a massive range, it must be really hard to pick favourites. But first, what are you wearing today as well?
Okay, what am I wearing today? Okay, so I am wearing, so I started off with, so if I go into last night, I've got my, I always have my Magic Night Cream and then I put my Magic Day Cream, but I've got my Overnight Bronze and Glow Mask. So
the new one,
exactly, and I adore that because I am pasty. Like I am a white sheet, and I have to say that it's so fantastic because what I always wanted to kind of put sort of fake tans on my face, but they would sit in my pores, and I suddenly after a while I'd be looking in the mirror going, oh my god, I've got like the worst blackheads in the world. And so I was like, I can't use this. So then I went to the labs and I was like, look, can you do something that will actually hydrate my skin, give me this glow and tint my skin at the same time? And so anyway, came up with that, and that's just launched and I'm obsessed with that. And then I put my my other product, which is like gives you a kind of like little kind of little tint to the skin, which is a unisex product actually. It's one of my first kind of products that I've created, and that just gives you this amazing kind of like, you know, kind of bronzy glow kind of look. So I've got that on my skin. Then obviously Magic Cream goes without saying. What else did I put on this morning? I put my Goddess Skin Clay Mask on this morning because I had a little bit of a late night last night. So there I needed some extra help. And then what else do I have on? Okay, so I've then got a little bit of my Magic Foundation. I've got my Minimal Eye ones underneath my eyes. My retoucher. I've got legendary lashes and full fat lashes on my eyes, 2 mascaras, one on the top, one on the bottom. I've got legendary on the top and full fat on the bottom. I've got, what else have I got? I've got my Dolce Vita eye palette on. I've got my pencil, my Rock and Coal pencil on the top. I've also got
lips.
Okay, I've got a new product here. This is really
exciting.
This is my makeup bag. I know, where is it? Okay, so this is my Charlotte Darling lipstick from my Hollywood collection, which hasn't launched yet. So my kind of whole thing with liquid lipsticks was that I liked them, but then for someone like me who has quite lined lips, I looked about.
They're so unflattering.
Oh my god!
I can't do them.
Was like I look like about literally 200 years old, and I'm like in the Mummy. I'm featuring in the Mummy Returns. Do you know what I mean? I'm like, this is not a good look for me. So I was like, I love the matte thing. I love the fact that But so anyway, so I went to the labs and I was like, can we do something that gives you this kind of amplified lip?
Doesn't like dry.
Doesn't dry them out. Like amplifies the size of them. Smooths. You know, like it's a creamy, hydrating. You know. And they were like, oh, you know, I always go to them with like nightmare problems. They're like, thanks a lot, goodbye.
See you in a year.
See you in 5 years. I hate you, goodbye. That literally kind of like. So anyway, because I'm always like giving them some like a nightmare kind of challenge. Anyway, so we managed to come up with this amazing formula which I'm obsessed with, and so this one's called Charlotte Darling, and it's my particular shade.
How many shades are there?
So there are 10 shades.
And they're coming out.
And they are coming out. Big 10th of August, yeah.
So it's been 4 years. We were just talking about this before we started filming. 4 years since the brand launch, which is not a lot of time at all.
4 years in September, so we're still like
3.5.
Yeah, 3.5.
The success that you've seen is absolutely mind blowing, and
thank you.
From the outside,
it's
quite hard.
Thank you to the world. Thank you to everyone for supporting me.
Is it like? Did you expect it?
Do you know my whole motto in life? And listen to this, everyone. Dare to dream it, dare to believe it, and dare to do it. And I really believe that anyone can do whatever they want in life. They just have to believe it. They have to visualize it. It's like she believed she could, so she did. And I think that I always knew as a little girl where I was going to end up and what I was going to do. And so it wasn't a surprise to me. I think it was a surprise to everyone else. So it was like...
I don't think it was a surprise because the products are so brilliant.
But still...
But it's so quick.
It's
like,
the
level of success you've seen in such a short period of time is amazing.
No, and listen, I've worked incredibly hard.
Yeah.
You know, it's... You know, I drove the labs mad, I kind of, whatever, you know, I'm a total perfectionist, passionate about what I do. And all the rest of it, and I'm not saying it's not been easy, but I have to say that, you know, the support, the support I've had from people has been nothing but amazing.
Yeah.
And you get there through a vision, and then, you know, and then obviously everyone kind of like helps you, kind of support you and your friends and the public and everyone, and it had the most amazing reaction. But I do think the products, like you said, my whole thing was to create a peerless product. So I didn't want to create a Me Too brand. I didn't want to be a kind of, you know, I often find, and you will know this, in the beauty industry, there are a lot of imitators and not a lot of innovators. And I'm not mentioning any names. And you know, for me, I was like, I want to innovate. I want to, if I cannot create a peerless product, if I cannot push the boundaries of my product, I'd rather, like I said, leave a gap in my line and just say, you know what, I still don't have a really...
It's not ready yet.
It's not ready yet.
So having seen such massive success, what's next? Like, what are your goals for the brand for the future?
I mean, to keep on innovating, to keep on finding amazing products. That so excites me. I have to say, when you kind of, that's like giving birth, you know, it's like when you're kind of, you've dreamt up a product, you've got an idea. In fact, with the Hollywood collection that's coming out, I've got 2 amazing, which I'm so excited about, my Hollywood Beauty Light ones. And they really kind of like, they just give you this incredible shimmer on the face, and they sort of, it's like hyper real.
And then the last question is one I ask everybody. Sometimes a tricky one, but if you could pick a song to be soundtrack,
not a tricky one for me.
To your life. Oh, you know already.
No, I know.
Okay. What would it be?
So it's the song that You've Got the Love by Candy Stanton. And it's the song that I chose for my Centre of a Dream commercial that I did with Kate Moss. Yeah. And it's Kate Moss's favourite song and my favourite song. And it's in this, you know the song, I mean, you know, and it when you listen to that song, there's a crescendo in it, and that crescendo is like a rush of emotion, and it's the, you know, emotion is what connects, and feeling is what connects all human beings. And if you think about anything in life that kind of is a hit, it's a feeling that's made you kind of a feeling of happiness. And so there's a crescendo in that song that really ignites that in people, and it makes you feel very emotional, and it makes us always feel so emotional, and this kind of sense of euphoria when you listen to that song. Well,
thank you so much for being part of this video. It's been amazing to chat
Thank
to
you so much for having me.
No,
it's
been
so
fun.
Great.
I hope you guys have enjoyed this and enjoyed hearing a little bit of Charlotte's story, because she's seriously a very, very interesting lady. I could sit here and listen to you forever. If you haven't already checked out the rest of this series, then make sure you do. I'll pop a link below to a couple of the other videos, and I'll see you soon. Bye.
And thank you so much for having me, and thank you for being so supportive to me from the beginning.
Bye, guys.
Bye.